Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, welcome if you're new. Today we are starting a couple of books and a couple of vlogs, and I am starting two spoiler vlogs. One is this Chahunka, Chain of Iron. I've done a spoiler vlog, Chain of Gold. I'm going to leave it linked somewhere around, up and down, wherever, and it was 5 stars. We're not really surprised at this point, but it left a lot of questions. I had so many questions, and I don't think that they're not going to get answered in this book, are they? It's going to be right at the end of the series, but I know that I'm gonna. This is currently on the 21st of August. I'm gonna be reading this week, and I know that it's a bit ahead of the live show, but I think Chloe was saying that Meg and Becca wanted me to read it a little bit earlier, just so I could feel some of the angst of waiting a couple of weeks between this and Chain of Thorns. It's nowhere near the length of time they had to wait for the third book after reading the second, but they wanted me to feel a little bit of that, apparently, you know, because that's the loving friendship that we have, and I'm excited to dive into this one. I really wanted to reread Chain of Gold, even though I've only just read it, before jumping into this, but I haven't had time because, you know, time management is not something that I'm capable of doing outside of a work environment. So there's this that's going to be getting read. I will try and keep you updated as much as possible. I did tend to forget little bits, like, to update you, and like throughout the last one, but the last vlog was still quite a lengthy one, so we'll see. I've got 2 vlogs on the go at the moment. This is one, this is the other, both a favourite series of my closest friends, so who are also girlfriends. How funny is that? That was not planned at all, but it happens. So yeah, anyway, for those of you who aren't watching my spoilery vlog of Throne of Glass but would like to know about the Mass-Along, Smash is hosting Mass-Along along with Tora, and I will leave the links down below because you should really join, okay? I know this is a Chain of Iron vlog, but I'm just saying, in case you don't want to watch the spoilery vlog, the Mass-Along, go check it out. And I'm gonna finish editing the vlog that I'm editing, get this ready and scheduled for tomorrow, and then I'm gonna go and try and read a couple of chapters of this and then a couple of chapters of this, and I will update you on the relevant vlogs when, you know, why I do 2 vlogs at the same time, I don't know, but I like to bring chaos to my life, and this is how I do it, okay? Okay, you know, already got a lot of questions, so I didn't actually start when I said I was going to start. I didn't give you any thoughts when I first started the book, so I'm just going to do this now, let you know, like a normal vlogger does, you know, that kind of thing. Also, I'm using Chloe's Busy Causing Drama bookmark. If you don't know why this is a thing, you need to get to know. Chloe reads books, she sells bookmarks, so have a gander if she's got any left. Anyway, when this first started, I was kind of confused because it mentioned Jack the Ripper, and I was like, what? And then it mentioned, like, the beginning was like London, East End, and it talks about this random person, doesn't name who this person is, just that he's now in a human body, and he kills someone, and he's going to kill James Herondale and Cordelia Carstairs. Very ominous beginning. Already had me hooked. Already had me gripped. I've absolutely no idea who this person is, and I need to know like yesterday. So there's that. And also, look at this. This is just a standard edition. I know that's just a black and white sort of drawing, but I love these. The naked hardcover situations. Great. And we're starting with Lucy helping Grace, and I just know that this is going to turn out so bad. We all know, if you're watching this spoiler-filled vlog, then there's that, I'm sure that you've read all the books prior to this, including like Mortal Instruments, the novellas, Dark Artificers, infernal devices, all that jazz up until this point? I'm guessing you have. So we're going to work on the assumption that that is the case. But we all know what happened when Ty tried to bring back Livy. And how wrong that went. And the fact that I'm reading a very similar situation where Grace is trying to bring back her brother. The only difference is that Livy was dead. R.I.P. Cold. Whereas Jesse is kind of in a place of in between. But if you remember from Chain of Gold, his last breath was already taken by James. So the last breath was going to be used to bring him back when they found out a way to bring him back. And they needed his last breath. But they gave it to James when they thought he was dying. How are they going to bring him back now? And Lucy's helping Grace experiment. And Grace is still being a bit of a cow to like snip it with Lucy. I'm like, hello, she's trying to help you here. So how about you back off and stop being so snippy? And who's marrying Cordelia? Have I missed something? Why is Cordelia getting married? Is there, like, what jump is this? Like, how? The back end of Chain of Gold. This is why I should have read this straight after Chain of Gold. I can't remember that Cordelia got engaged. Because the bracelet got put back on James by Grace. And then it was all under the spell again. Can't remember what, oh, she asked James to marry her. And he said no, he couldn't. And then there was the demon on the bridge. I'm struggling to remember who. Do we know who is Cordelia's engaged to? And please don't marry her off to somebody else, because she belongs with James. Can we just? She belongs with James. That is the be all and end all. That is like full stop. Cordelia belongs with James. Full stop. In its own little bubble, off to the side, in a box. No, nothing, not however, no but, no whys or wherefores. They belong together. So if Cordelia's getting married to someone else, Cassie, I'm DNFing the book. Will I DNF it? Probably not. I'm lying to you. I do apologise. I was a bit dramatic there, but I'm just saying, I'm not going to be happy if they marry her off to someone else. But also, oh no! She's getting married to James, isn't she? Because they were found in a compromising situation. Was it? Is she marrying James? I can't fucking remember. I'm going to go read this now. I'm going to go read this and remember my brain is a thing that I need to use. All is well with the world. Cordelia is marrying James. However, I do think it is a marriage of convenience, if I remember rightly. More things are coming back to the noggin. But let's just say it's going to start out as maybe that, and then James is going to realise that he's totally in love with Cordelia. We're going to go with that. Now I remember they agreed to marry for a year to save both their reputations, and then Cordelia was going to sue for divorce, and then they were going to part as friends. But we all know this is kind of like the one bedroom false proximity situation. Ooh, that could be a raw readathon prompt. Can I fit that in? Can I finish this before the end of August? Challenge! I did remember that Becca did say that this book would fit a couple of the raw readathon prompts, so I just couldn't remember which ones they were. Should I finish this before the end of August? I think I might end up completing a lot of the prompts. Anyway, that's by the by. I don't like the fact that James is away again. He's neglecting his wife-to-be. And I don't like it. I really don't like it. I just want him to not be hung up on Grace. I want Grace to not get in the way. And I've got a horrible feeling that Grace is going to get in the way. And that poor Cordelia is going to get hurt. Anyway, That's enough for me tonight. I'm gonna go to sleep, recuperate. I'm not even a chapter in, and I've got so many thoughts, and I just need to gather them, because I know in my heart of hearts that Cordelia's gonna get hurt before everything gets better, and I've got a horrible feeling that Grace is gonna be somewhere in there, as a reason for why she's hurt, and I don't think I'm ready for it, because Cordelia is just a being, deserves all the happiness in the world. Okay, so can we just appreciate how funny Lucy is without being purposeful with the humour? She's just so like into her novel, and she's like, "Ooh, can I use that in my novel? Ooh, can you?" And then bloody berating that vampire when all he asked for was a dance, and she was just like, "Do you stalk ladies in the night?" And the vampire was like, It just made me laugh. And now we're at James's like stag do type thing, where this mermaid is performing and whatnot. And she's mentioned the bracelet. They've just mentioned the bracelet. Why? We hate Grace. We don't like the mention of the bracelet. Every time someone mentions the bracelet, my heart aches for Cordelia and for James, because we all know now that the feelings that James has for Grace are not real. They are triggered by this bracelet and forced by this bracelet, and it's stressing me out. It really is like stressing me out. And then there's this thing with Kellington and Matthew. Kellington broke Matthew's heart before, but like, why did he have hold of his hair in the dark corner of the hell well? Like, I don't understand. And I've just got a really bad feeling about this. I've got a really, do you know when you get that sickly feeling in your gut that something really bad's going to happen? And James has been messing with his bracelet. I know my thoughts are all over the place, but James has been messing with his bracelet, saying, "Oh, I need to forget Grace. I need to put Grace out of mind for a year. And he's mentioned taking the bracelet off. But we know that when he takes the bracelet off, like the hold on, the hands on him, it's like it's not there anymore. So will he realise this when he takes the bracelet off, that his feelings for Grace dull? And then when he has the bracelet on, will he notice a pattern? This is the question, or one of the many questions that are floating through my mind at the moment. And I'm just like, the fairy that approached Cordelia in the club, saying you don't have to marry a man that don't love you. How does this fairy know? Like, does it, like, there's just so many threads, so many people involved, and I've got a really horrible feeling Cordelia's heart's gonna get broken. James is gonna do something stupid because he's got this bracelet on. Anyway, let's get back to it. Hello friends, so I have many thoughts. I am only on page 96, and I already just, I don't know what's going on. I don't have as many notes. Well, I'm saying this, these are my notes just on the first 96 pages. This book is about 700 pages long, so I don't know how many notes I'm going to have. Or is it 700, 600, 560? So it's just under 600 pages long. So there's just so many thoughts. I really love Cordelia as a person, and I think that what James is doing is very noble and honourable, but I genuinely feel like he does have actual feelings for Cordelia, but it's masked by this bracelet that he even says that he tried to take off but he couldn't. And I haven't ever heard anyone say that they're in a Grace camp, like they're on Grace's side, but I will give her minor props, minor points for her to say that she tried to break it off. She tried to remove the bracelet again. She realised that what she was doing was wrong, what her mum was making her do was wrong, and that James should be allowed to just feel what he feels for whoever he feels things for. But I still don't like her. Like I said, props given for at least attempting to remove the bracelet. But then the whole mother coming in, taking possession of a body, and like getting these abilities from the demons in order to like do this when shadow hunters are supposed to have magic. It's just all very weird. And I don't like it. What else did I put? I put, oh my god, Jen playing for the wedding. That made me tear up. Bridget, if you've read The Infernal Devices, Bridget. The vows and the runes were just so sweet. About like searching for somebody and you found your person, and I was just, it's cute. And the kiss, love the kiss. But Matthew is so jealous. And I can't remember if it's mentioned, but did Matthew previously say he had feelings for Cordelia? Or he was feeling a certain way about her? Or is that just in my mind? Do I think that he has feelings and I've just manifested it in my brain? I don't know. Anyway, and also, I can't remember if it mentions it previously, but Grace is not Tatiana's. Has this been mentioned before? So much has gone on in the first book, and I should have kept my notes, because I can't remember if it's mentioned before that she's not actually Tatiana's. But again, one thing I will say, I do love the relationship that Grace and Jessie have. Like the brother-sister bond that they have, the love they have for each other. I believe that is genuine. Like, that is a genuine feeling. And Grace has acknowledged that she doesn't love James either, which is disturbing given the fact that we're in this situation that we are at the moment. I'm just feeling loads of hearts are going to get broken. Matthew's heart's going to get broken because he's probably going to finally realise, when he's not in a drunken stupor, that he has genuine feelings for Cordelia, and then Cordelia's, has feelings for James, and James has feelings for Cordelia. I really don't want it to be a love triangle situation, and I don't know why Cassie likes to do this. Is there a need for Matthew to be in love with Cordelia or have feelings? No. It's hard enough that there's the whole James Cordelia potential feeling issue. We don't need to factor in other people in this. We really don't. It's a lot. And I feel like Cordelia's going to get heartbroken because James has still got this bracelet on, and I feel like he's going to end up caving and seeing Grace, and when Matthew's not there to deter him, and she's going to feel like she has to do this thing with him and like force him to do something behind Cordelia's back because her mum is on a case. I don't know. It's all very stressful. Stressful is the word. But it is what it is. Cassie likes to put me through stress before coming out the other end. I know it's going to get worse though. I just know it's going to get worse. And the feeling of dread that's in the pit of my stomach that it's going to get worse. I don't think I'm ready for it at all. I don't think I'm ready for it at all. I am enjoying reading this a little bit slower as well. So that's another thing. I've gone on 2 speed instead of a bit faster. And I'm enjoying just reading it a little bit slower, taking everything in. I might speed it up a little bit when I'm reading along physically as well. But for now, I'm just enjoying the ride. Well, am I enjoying it? It's an interesting ride, but it's stressful. But it's still looking at the moment that it's going to be highly rated. Can't say yet it's going to be a 5-star. It's going to be at least a 4 though, based on what I've read so far. And if it stays this, or gets better, obviously it's definitely going to be a 5. So we're just going to aim for it staying as it is, as a bare minimum. I'll come back. The wedding night, the tension, the buttons, the dress, the breathing. It's great. Oh, I hate the society people, the enclave, that just gossip. I hate gossip. It's just so annoying. So goddamn annoying. But then Matthew dancing with Cordelia and then having a bit of banter. I don't know if I've said this, but I think Matthew's in love with Cordelia. Has it mentioned that? Did I mention that? Has the book mentioned that? I can't remember. But anyway, that's the by the by. And then James taking her for a waltz. So cute. I just want them to, I want him to take the bracelet off and just kiss her already and then be a couple. Yes, it would hurt Matthew because I think Matthew's got a thing for her, but you know, it's James and Cordelia. Cordelia and James. Goes better than Matthew and Cordelia, or Cordelia and Matthew. That doesn't sound right. Cordelia and James. James and Cordelia. But yeah. I don't know how I'm going with this. There's been a murder. It is currently a time of night, and I don't know. I'm tired now. I'm going to sleep. But there's been murders. Okay, friends. Despite it looking like I've not moved a muscle, I have moved since I last updated you, because I last updated you yesterday, and today is now the day after yesterday, which means today is the 6th of September. And oh my god, look, the notes, the notes that I have on Jane of Iron. Crazy. No, where did we? I didn't read him. No fucking spiders. What are these? Oh, they begin with O, when they found Philomena's ghost. Absolutely not. No, I am done with spiders lately. They're all coming out of the woodwork. They can all fuck off back in. And I didn't need to read about this in a book. Oh my god, Elias is dead. What the fuck? Like, I mean, I know he wasn't a great man, and he wasn't essential to the plot, but I just feel like Cordelia's gonna have pain to come. Does she really need a dad dying as well? Methinks not. And then the murders, I was like, nope, don't try and make me believe it's James. I'm not ever gonna believe it's James. You could try, Cassie. It's not gonna happen. No, Jesse can't fade. He needs to be alive. I don't know where the D came from. He needs to be alive. Lucy needs to find a way to bring him alive. Not like half dead, half alive, like half a relationship. They've admitted they love each other now. So, you know, Cassie, give me that happy ending. And if you don't, I'm going to be seriously pissed. And I know that I'm not going to get this in this book anyway. I'm just saying, eventually I need that happy ending, okay? Jesse and Lucy, forever. Thomas and Alistair, please let this be a thing. Thomas can't die. Thomas has decided that it's his responsibility to go out and patrol alone when there's a murderer around. Thomas, friend, use that brain. That brain, the noggin is there for making calculated and like getting all the information and making an informed decision that is going to be a sensible one. It is not sensible to go out by yourself and patrol. It's not. And then that was just one situation, and then there was a shadowy figure that Thomas saw. And then I was like, okay, so he's still alive, brilliant. Then Grace turned up at James' house. Because Mummy told her to, and I don't care if anyone says her mum told her to, and blah, 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 she's doing it for her mum. Like, I don't care, she's doing it anyway. She could just stand up for herself, and I don't care what you say. I put, no, don't kiss her, and then he kissed her. And Malcolm finding out about Annabelle, that was awful. That was really horrible. And then obviously we realised that's how Malcolm became a bit cuckoo in the head. And then James is tied to the bed and Cordelia is getting on top of him. And then I put, which means like, oh my god, I'm excited, the tension, the thrillingness. And then it was like so much tension. How is Cordelia not freaking out? And then she just gets off him like, thank you for that. I appreciate you showing me how to kiss properly. For my next husband, when this year-long thing ends, I'm like, savage. But at that point, James had just told her that he'd kissed Grace. So, and the bracelet's broken. The bracelet's cracked. So this voice that's telling him he loves Grace I think is weakening. It's still pushing itself to the front, but I feel like it's weakening. And then I thought, oh, Thomas is going to get killed patrolling alone, because he mentioned again that he was going to go out patrolling alone, and Anna found out. And then it flicked back to James and Cordelia. Is he realising that he's in love with Cordelia, but is like this silver bracelet situation is taking over his like cognitive, like sensible brain. And then I put, holy shit, bad guy sees Thomas. And this has now come to the fact that I'm pausing. I am pausing it for today. I'm going to go read some manga and then come back to this because I feel like pain is to come. Thomas has been through a lot so far in this book, losing his sister and, you know, and then Cordelia's lost her dad, which is all very sad, but I'm not ready to lose one of the mains. I know we've not seen much of Thomas, but he's one of the Merry Thieves. We can't lose any of the Merry Thieves. They're called the Merry Thieves. They've got a name. We can't lose any of them. I don't want Thomas. I want Thomas and Alistair to be a thing. I want them to forgive Alistair for his childish rumour spreading and he's apologised and like just let bygones be bygones and just move on. And please just please Thomas and Alistair be a thing. Lucy and Jessie be a thing. James and Cordelia be a thing. This is stressing me out. I'm gonna go read some manga and calm down. Hello friends. I don't know if I've updated you for a while. I need to find my phone. Okay, phone obtained. So, I'm gonna quickly update you on my thoughts, feelings and ponderances around Chain of Iron at the moment. So, last time I showed you, I had approximately a page and a half. Like, this is everything I now have on Chain of Iron. And it's a lot, so I can't remember where we last left you, but I think it was Cordelia getting on top of James. I think Thomas didn't get himself killed, but what he did do is get himself into trouble and get himself arrested. Thomas, you idioto! I don't know why you thought patrolling by yourself was a good idea. I don't know why I'm talking to you like you are a real person and you can hear me, but I'm just saying this out loud, verbalising thoughts. At the time, I thought he was going to get killed. I'm really glad he's not dead. Honestly, 100%. Well, he's not dead yet. I don't know if he dies later on. That's yet to come. We've still got a book and a half left. I'm glad he's not dead yet, but I'm also annoyed that, like, who is this? What's it called? Begins with B. Bitchface. Inquisitor. Why Bridgestock? Why are all the Inquisitors assholes? It seems to be like a part of the job description is be a single-minded tyrant. I don't understand why that's a thing, but every Inquisitor that I seem to have come across during this Shadowhunter ride is the Inquisitors that have been assholes. So that's the thing, but Alistair took up for him. I don't know if Alistair was actually telling the truth when he said he was following Thomas, or whether he said that because he has feelings for Thomas and he wanted to make sure Thomas didn't get in trouble because he knows that Thomas didn't do it. So when they go for the trial under the sword, then it'll come out that Thomas is telling the truth. However, if Alistair's lying, could he then put things in jeopardy again? If you know what I mean? I don't know if he actually was following Thomas or whether he said it to save his ass, so that they're not just going to throw him straight in jail and they're going to put him like trial by sword, truth sword, what's it called? Again, brain not functioning well. But it's very interesting, and they've just kind of had a moment in the cell where Alistair has started talking to him after like sort of cozying up in a corner and reading. That's very me. And I don't know if they're going to have like a romantic moment or not, but they've just both said that the days they spent together in Paris were like the best parts of Paris for both of them. And I was like, if only Alistair wasn't a twat when he was younger, this could be a thing. My concern is that they still very much hate Alistair as a group. Well, Matthew definitely does, and you know, we understand why Matthew would. And you know, he did say mean things when they were younger, but James seems more likely to try and sort of do like a forgive and forget kind of thing, like move on and let Alistair be part of the group, whereas I think Matthew would be dead set against it. He still despises Alistair, and I think Thomas he wants to hate him, but because of his feelings for him, he's kind of can't hate him. So I don't know how it would go down with the Merry Thieves. I think Christopher would just be like, oh, we're like an Alistair now, that's fine. Because he's very confused about whether they still hate Alistair or not. So that was a cute situation. He was like, oh, so we still hate Alistair? Okay. I am just confused. So I think that he would be fine either way, but I think mostly Matthew would be very much against Thomas and Alistair being a thing. So we'll see. We'll see. Paladin. Why would the demons stop fighting? because she's a paladin of the Smith, of Wayland the Smith, because Wayland the Smith was good, therefore the fact that she was she was his paladin wouldn't make sense, that they just would stop fighting. I feel like Belial has maybe tricked her into becoming his paladin, because they keep talking about Belial, whatever his name is, and but James also faded into shadow, into the realm of Lilith. So could Lilith be tricking things and manipulating situations? Because I don't think that Cordelia, after the whole demon situation and backing off, I think that she's a paladin for one of the demons. She's a paladin for one of the bad guys who have tricked her into believing that she has become a paladin for a good guy. I think. They're my thoughts, feelings, and ponderings so far. I will be checking in with you again when I have more thoughts on everything. Oh my god, things are going down, okay, and I'm not okay. So James has got to a point now where we think he's gonna sort of like sacrifice himself so Belial can take over him, and as long as he like promises to save his friends and family and not to harm them, but he's the Prince of Hell, he's not going to pay attention. Also, I did skip the part where Thomas and Alistair kiss, and then Cordelia and James kiss, and the bracelet breaks, and they're still not fully realised that the bracelet had a hold on James yet. But then again, they've not had to discuss it because things just went down, and then, oh god, I don't know. I still think that this whole Cordelia being a paladin, she's not a paladin for good, and I think I'm scared because Lillian has just turned up, who was dead, and Jessie is the one that Belial was taking control of to kill Shadowhunters and take their runes, and now that's to make Jessie's body stronger so that Belial can possess him. And then, oh my god, it's just a lot, and poor Jessie. I wanted Jessie and Lucy to be a thing, and now I don't think they can be a thing because Belial's in him. Oh god, poor Jessie, poor Lucy, they were so in love. Oh my god, Mazda, she said, konnichiwa, I am coming in with a final update on Chain of Iron. I didn't record the last chunk of, I didn't give any thoughts on the last chunk of what I've read, because I was just consuming all of it, and as in typical Cassie Clare style, lots of things happened near the end, and if you can hear the fan, it is what it is. It's bloody warm, but I gave this 5 stars. The ending, I'm sorry, Meg and Becca, that you had to wait 15 months for book 3, but also, what? Like, so, I can't remember when I last updated you. So, Jessie was being taken over by Belial. Grace tried to go see James because she didn't realise the bracelet had broken, and she was like, save me, James, and the bracelet had broken off. And she'd come in and like, she's throwing around, and I was like, I'm going to break it off with Charles. And he was like, thank God, but obviously, in his brain, we all know that he was like, thank God that I can have this chat with you and like come in, and you know what I mean? And we knew what James was thinking, but poor Cordelia saw Grace jump on him and then heard him say thank God, and then she ran away. That's one thing that I don't like in books, is when you half hear a conversation. Although, to be fair, you can't misconstrue. Well, you can, because she kind of did. I don't know. It's like, when it's like miscommunication, but in a way like a half-heard conversation, or a misconstrued situation. That kind of miscommunication I'm not a huge fan of, but it didn't detract from my enjoyment of the book, because everything else goes with it. And then Matthew finally admitting to Cordelia that he was in love with her. But I'm really worried now, because I mentioned to Meg and Chloe hasn't read this, by the way. She's just heard Meg talk about it, because Meg's not interested in this, Chloe's not interested in the series. But I did say that I'm not a fan of the love triangle, so I don't want it to become a love triangle, and I am really concerned that it might be, and at least one person's going to get their heart broken, because Matthew's not going to stop loving Cordelia, and obviously he's still got his issues, and he said he's going to stop drinking, but is he going to stop drinking? You know, with all the best will in the world, he's an alcoholic. Is he going to stop drinking? I mean, he's probably going to try, because he loves her, but you know, giving it the good old college try isn't always going to be something that can work when it comes to addiction. So I'm not sure how that's going to play out in book three. The fact that James was there on the platform and he saw Matthew and Cordelia getting on the train, I knew that something was going to happen to stop him from approaching them, because if they got pulled off the train and everything was hunky-dory and he just admitted that he loved her, then that wouldn't have been anything to sort of be all shocked about, and it wouldn't have been a cliffhanger. And I know that there was a cliffhanger that Meg and Becca were just like hated having to wait so long for book 3 for, and I just knew that if they came off the train and he was like, oh, I'm in love with you, it wouldn't have been a cliffhanger. Do you know what I mean? So I knew that something was going to stop him from going to say, Cordelia, I love you, don't leave, but I didn't expect it to be his dad, and I didn't expect it to be the fact that Lucy had gone, because obviously Lucy brought back Jesse, and I don't understand why this time commanding him to go back to life worked. Is it because of the runes, that when she commanded him to come back the second time, he came back? Obviously it also drained her, so is there going to be some kind of link between them now? Like, do you know when, oh, I can't tell you about the other one, because if you haven't read it, well, you should have read it, but if you haven't, I can't really say. But I just feel like there's going to be consequences to that, and as much as I'm glad that Jesse's alive and kicking, I don't know how long that's going to be there for. I don't know how long that's going to last, because she shouldn't have brought him back to life, and they haven't used like necromancy magic. She commanded him, but the part that she used to command him was the dark side of the dark side that she got from the little bit of her granddad, I think. I'm very sort of, I have a lot of questions, and I can't seem to just work my brain out to just think of any logical, do you know, sort of through that, do you know what I mean? Like, I can't seem to like put the pieces together, and like I don't know where it's gonna go. I know where I would like it to go, but we can't always get what we want, as the famous song goes. So what I want to happen in book 3, let's just give some predictions and feelings and that kind of thing. So I think that Cordelia is gonna be in Paris with Matthew and might get swept up in the whole romance of Paris, and maybe have some, as much as I hate this and I really don't want this to happen, get some feelings for Matthew. But I think that's because she will want to love someone back who loves her, because she knows how it feels to have unrequited love. Do you know what I mean? Maybe. But I think that James is gonna sort out what with Lucy. He's gonna find Lucy, he's gonna bring her back, he's gonna sort all that shit out. I think that Jesse is gonna have to go back to the realm of the dead. Well, I don't know if that's the thing in Shadow, you know what I mean? He's gonna get unalived again, but properly unalived, with the Shadowhunter ceremony and everything, to like say goodbye, because it's not natural in the state that he's in right now. He was commanded back to life by somebody who can command the dead. So But I don't know how that works, the fact they didn't have the anchor in him anymore. Like, he wouldn't have died if that anchor hadn't been placed in him, which made him have an adverse effect to the runes, but he still has been dead and preserved for years. So I don't know. It's all very strange in there, but you know, that aside, if you don't think of all the undead deadness, I want Jessie and Lucy to be a thing. I love, okay, and they love each other, and I just want them to be happy. I want Cordelia and James, I'm sorry Matthew, I want Cordelia and James to finally be happy with each other. I want Thomas and Alistair to finally just be like, do you know what, we care for each other, and the Merry Thieves will just accept him because they love Thomas, and Thomas is brilliant. And yeah. And then when it comes to Grace, I don't care. She could go get unalived. I genuinely couldn't give a flying fook what happens to her. Tatiana, she could be unalived. We all know what happens to Malcolm Fade. So, you know. I'm just thinking who else. Belial, Lilith. You know, Belial is the Prince of Hell. He needs to just get that final stab from Cortana. Because he got a stab in the first book, he got a stab in the second book. It would only make sense that when Cordelia got control back of Cortana and Lilith's hold on her was cut, however that's going to get cut, that she's going to deal a final blow to Belial and actually make him disappear for realsies. They're my thoughts and feelings on what I want to happen and what I think will happen, and I just don't want a love triangle. That's all I care about. And I know that someone's going to get hurt. It's likely going to be Matthew. But Matthew just needs to go to rehab and sort himself out. Do you know what I mean? He needs to, like, take care of himself before I can be with other people. Do you know? Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If you do like me, you want to see more of me, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're here and you want to let me know you're here, but you don't have anything to say, leave a black card, very much appreciated. If you have any thoughts and feelings and ponderings on Chain of Iron and you don't want to spoil it in the comments, just message me on one of my socials that will be also linked down below. And check in again next time for the final book in the series. R.I.P. me.